This is going to be a biggest episode on the Guiding Voice podcast series because we have a special guest today in our show, EJ Snyder, Errol James Snyder. He is currently the number one ranked survivalist in the world and is a highly decorated 25-year retired army combat veteran. He participated in 91 Gulf War and also in Iran War. Extreme survivalist and adventurer, host of Dual Survival and 6-time legend of Naked and Afraid. He is available as a motivational speaker, published author and writer, actor, stuntman, and also does celebrity appearance. He teaches survival and outdoor skills, leadership and team building, training, and does adventure guiding. He's a social media influencer and brand ambassador, posting content on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and many more platforms. So for more about EJ, you may visit www.ejsnyder.com. You will find the link in the show notes or the episode description. And as we prepare to delve into our conversation on the topic at hand, mindset and overcoming challenges, here is an exciting twist. Let us tickle the brains of our guest EJ first. So EJ, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. I'll mention a few and I would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. Are you ready for it? All right, perfect. Let's get started. And here comes the first word. Curiosity.
I heard curiosity. My response to that is enlightenment.
Enlightenment. Invention.
Necessity.
Future.
Is mine.
Book.
I don't read.
Movie.
Action heroes.
Success.
Hard work.
Truth.
Truth.
Adventure.
Every day.
Universe.
All encompassing.
All right, the last one. Money or wealth? You can pick anyone.
Wealth. And the reason I explain wealth versus money, everyone can collect money and money is tangible. Wealth is more than just money. It's knowledge, it's experience, it's love, it's enlightenment, it's wealth is so many more things.
Wow. That's so fascinating. And EJ, thank you so much for participating in the first rapid fire round. And stay tuned. We have one more towards the end of the episode.
All right.
So, folks, welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series where we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. I'm your host, Navin Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place through valuable discussions that add value not only to your life but also to your career. And thank you so much for tuning in. EJ, hearty welcome to TGV. And I'm super thrilled, humbled, honored to have you as a guest on my show.
I am so excited to be here, my friend. This is my very first Indian podcast. And I know I have so many fans in India. And I'm so happy to connect there and all over the world for that matter, for wherever you're broadcasting. But I'm very excited. So
Yeah. Pleasure is all mine. And EJ, let's get started. Like, your profile is simply impressive. And I would like to understand and know more about your success mantra. So please share with our audience the top 3 things that have contributed to your success so far.
Well, for success, the big thing is you have to have a positive mindset. You can never get down on yourself. You have to keep driving forward, and you always have to stay positive. That's the first thing. Number 2, you got to stay hungry. Always stay hungry. Always want more. Never be satisfied. If you're sleeping, you're wrong. You have to live, eat, and breathe this stuff. And then lastly, you have to have that will to weather it all, because there's going to be a lot of challenges that you face, a lot of hard times. You just can't give up. If you have a dream, don't tell anybody your dream. Show them.
Wow.
Show them your dream.
Wow. Quite inspiring. And EJ, you have a significant following in India. So how did you manage to resonate so well with the Indian audience? And also, what aspects of your message do you think particularly connect with them?
Well, I think it was my naked rear end that they really fell in love with most, first off, on Naked and Afraid. But I think it's more than that. It's just being on Naked and Afraid and being there. And when they witness what I go through and how I handle the challenges I face in the wild, keeping a positive mindset, understanding how to communicate with other people that were out there with me, or not, not in the best of mindset. They were hungry and they were tired, irritable. I always try to stay positive, try to deal with people, one human to another, with kindness in my
Mhm.
heart. Even if they're upsetting me, I always try to think through situations. And then I think it's my iron will, that drive, that I never give up no matter what happens to me. For most severe injuries, like I speared my right testicle in the
Oh.
swamps and had it
Mm.
sewn on the spot, 12 stitches, no painkillers. And that
Mhm.
was on day 27 of a 60-day challenge. Stayed in the challenge and made it to the end. And
Wow.
that's just, an inspiration for people. Just, it's nothing on me. It's just how I'm wired, how I was placed on this earth by God. And for me to inspire others in that way, whatever they get out of it, it's just, it's just a blessing.
Yeah, I've gone through your Wikipedia page and it was mentioned there about the injury, and the way you have continued till the 60th day is so admiring and at the same time so inspirational. People worry about trivial things, but look at the person out there. I think we have a lot to learn from you, EJ. And EJ, here comes my next question. Like India, the place where I come from, has a rich and diverse culture, and how have you adapted your message and leadership approach to resonate with people from diverse cultural backgrounds?
I just think being me and who I am just resonates no matter what language barrier, what culture. We're all humans. We all have the same desires in life, to succeed, to have, a family, be loved, to be successful, and to be happy, and to live life to the fullest. And so, where you are throughout the world, I think just being yourself and being true to yourself, and then getting out in the world and just getting after it. For me, it's about sucking the bone marrow out of life. People talk about a bucket list. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like bucket lists because a bucket is going to get kicked and it's over. For me, I want to be on this earth and experience it as much as possible, life and adventure. And so for that, I call it, I suck the bone marrow out of life. So my list will never end. There'll always be more room for more things to do. I think you can walk this earth forever and never experience all that there is to experience. And so I measure life, and that comes back to wealth. I'd rather be more worldly and have a
Mm-hmm.
wealth of experiences and knowledge, because I think that makes you much more intellectual. Book study's great. I'm not knocking it, but I think if you become a PhD doctor in the world,
Mm-hmm.
you're much more lived in
Mm.
that sense.
Superb. And your energy is contagious. Even through
Thank
Zoom, I don't know how I would feel if I'm just sitting right next to you and doing this
you.
interview.
People say I wish I could bottle it up. I'd be a millionaire to bottle all this EJ electricity into one little thing. I don't know where it comes from. It's always been with me my whole life, and it's not a bunch of coffee, because I do drink coffee. Mostly, I drink more tea than coffee. But there's people out there in these challenges that are half my age. I will be 58 here in about a month,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, age is just a number. Doesn't mean anything. It's in here. How do you feel? What is your age? What is your youth inside? And I believe, like you said, it's contagious. I
Yeah,
believe positivity and energy is very contagious, and
yeah.
it's also, if you're spreading negative energy, it will have the same. It will have an effect. It will spread, and it is contagious, but it'll have a negative effect and be no good. So I always try to be a positive light all the time.
Awesome, awesome. And talking about the success mantra, you mentioned maintaining a positive mindset is vital, and especially during challenging times. So, can you share some strategies you personally use to stay positive and focused when facing difficulties or obstacles?
This thing is approaching every day with an attitude of gratitude, being thankful for all that you have around you, that you can breathe, you woke another day, that you're alive, you have a chance to bless somebody else or something in the world. I always start my day with meditation and prayer. I set my intentions and my aspirations for the day. I'll do that for 20 minutes, and then I will sit after that 10 minutes in silence, listen to
Mm,
nature. I always do it outside, and I do that at the beginning of the day. And when I do that, it sets my day. And if I don't do it, I know something's off. And I pray many times throughout the day, but That's intentional, and I do that as a habit. And when you form that habit, it's very positive. And then when I do my end of day prayers and meditation, I do a counsel with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk to myself about what went right, what went wrong today, what was I a positive in, what did I maybe fall short, and where do I
Mm-hmm.
need to improve? And I always try to be a better man the
Mm.
next day than I was the day before. And if you walk this way, no matter who you are, I promise you, great things will happen to you. And then also always inject a little bit of Sanguru into your life because he is all wise and all knowing. And I like the way he laughs. So he makes me smile every day. So I always spend a little time with Sanguru each day.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. And now let's talk about the leadership part. So, leadership is an essential aspect of success. And I would like to know your definition of leadership and what qualities do you believe make a leader effective? Again, especially in challenging or high pressure situations.
First of all, a leader has to be in charge. You have to spew being in charge. It's a lot of things. You may not be that great, but if you spew charisma, confidence, being a lion, being a leader, when you walk in a room, people know, oh, someone showed up. Doesn't matter. Other people, like when I was in the military, could outrank me. But when I showed up in the room, it wasn't because I was 6'3", 250 pounds. I just had that. I just spewed out a commanding presence. So you have to be confident in yourself, and you have to project that you are a leader. You have to stay calm in stressful situations. It does you no
Mm.
good to get emotional. You have to stay logical in your thought process to make correct decisions. Then a good leader always owns whatever it is, better and
Mhm.
different problem. That's on you. You take full ownership of it, and every day you try to make it better. You don't leave it the same way you found it. And a leader just takes ownership in that. And last, I would say, I lead with compassion. Look at my
Mm.
people below me, and I look at them and I say, you know what? I'm going to love you. I'm going to discipline you as if you were one of my own kids. And if I take that, if I lead with my heart, passion, and wear it on my sleeves, I found that my subordinates were always respected me more, would follow me to the gates of hell if I asked them to, because they knew I was going to take care of them. And you always take care of your people no matter what. And so that's what I feel being a good leader is. And also, lastly, before you can be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. So
Mhm.
once you've been a good follower and you understand teamwork and being able to take orders, it's a lot easier, I found, to be able to lead people that way because you know what they're going through.
That's incredible. And one off the record question, in case if you want, I will delete this, but I'm really curious. How did you get inclined towards the strength training? Because I learned about you have undergone bullying during childhood, right? Do you want
Yes,
to talk anything about it?
that's fine. No, I'm a big advocate for anti-bullying, and I found in my experiences as a camp counselor later on in life, and then being a senior leader in the military, and just guiding my own kids and stuff, that you know, there's two people in the situation: the bully and the bull. The bully actually needs more help than the person getting bullied because what has that person gone through to become a bully? So they need to
Mm.
be helped just as much as someone being bullied. I was a very emotional kid. My parents divorced when I was very young, and I was growing up in New Jersey in a very tough area. And so I was just an easy target just based on the way I dressed and how I carried myself. And I realized that I was walking around like a sheep, and
Mhm.
you cannot be a sheep in this world of lions. So if you're going to be part of a pride or a group, you better be a lion. And lions, and I've realized that I need to develop a confidence in myself. And my stepfather at the time, he was a boxer, so he's taught me how to box. I was learning wrestling, Greco wrestling in school, and then my friends would go to karate classes. They would take jujitsu, judo, taekwondo because their parents had money, they could afford it. I
Mhm.
couldn't. So when they came home, I said, hey, teach me what you learned today. And I would learn all these different styles. So I was doing MMA before it was called MMA. But what that did for me was my mom always told me you have the right to defend yourself, never throw the first punch. And so I always
Mhm.
went through life letting people hit me first. So I said, well, I was defending myself. And then outside the ring, when I'm in the ring or in combat, that's different. But outside the ring in combat, I've never thrown the first punch in my life, but I've thrown a heck of a lot of last punches. But that ability to start lifting weights and getting stronger and being an athlete and having that confidence helped me to understand how to deal with these people at a different level. And sometimes people only understand brute force and ignorance, and that's too bad. I always preach, hey, speak with your mouth and try to fix the situation that way first. And then if somebody comes after you in a violent way, they mean you harm. You have the right to defend yourself, and so that's where all that came in. And so bullies, like I said, bullying was a part of my life. I'm glad it came because it helped me. Because later on in life, bullies, if you don't deal with them early on or right off the bat, keep putting them in your life, and they might not be a physical bully, but it could be a boss who's being very abusive. It could be a coworker at the same level who's being very passive aggressive and causing problems. And so bullies don't go away. Doesn't matter how old you are, they'll try to show up. But I don't fret the bullies anymore because I learned how to deal with them way early on in my life. And but they do come back and revisit if you have not taking care of that in yourself.
Yeah, I again like the positive attitude here. Things happen for a reason, and you have become the most strongest person now.
Always. And in life, I never lose. I either or I learn. And it's up to individuals to flip any situation into a positive. If you look at it on the negative side, then you're going to fall into that emotion and it's going to be a negative experience. But if you find the positive, even in the worst of things, like being out on Naked Afraid, there were some rough times. But I knew I put myself in this adventure for this experience. So if I'm going to complain, let's say, about the bugs, well, I just have to look in the reflection in the water and thank that person, which was me, that I'm there. I asked to be there. So to complain about it to me seemed like a very waste of energy and time. And so I feel the same way about negatives. And so I always look for the positive in everything.
Awesome. EJ, your experience and journey is incredibly inspiring. So how do you hope your story can motivate and guide others, not just in India, but globally, so that they can overcome their challenges and persevere towards their goals?
I have been blessed. The first time I ever went out on Naked Afraid, thought I was going out with a knife to do something very cool. And the guy right there really didn't know what he was getting into. And what the result was, I realized I had a platform and that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people to this date now, and I've been a lot of TV since 2006, but mainly the survival stuff since about 2010, so coming up on 11 years. The amount of messages to get from people I've inspired and influenced and changed their lives, used what I've shown them to fight life-threatening illnesses, overcome substance abuse, gambling. Some were in the shadows of the dark, getting ready to possibly commit suicide and did not because of it. I'm just the messenger. So how I move in spirit, how the universe tells me to move is how I move. And I move everything by spirit. If I speak or my actions are all driven by a higher self, a higher cause. And I just move forward in hopes that people see me and whatever it is that applies to their life, they get out of it. And if they flips them, it's a positive. For me, that's amazing. And, I just am going to keep shepherding the way I've been put on this earth, which is my calling, to keep walking forward through my social medias, through television, through podcasts, to influence people to live a better life, be the best version of themselves they can be. You don't have to be EJ Snyder. You don't have to be whoever, Muhammad Ali or all these different athletes or people you see, maybe politicians like Ronald Reagan, whoever. Just be the best version of yourself. And by that, you will bless others in your life. We can only control what we have right in front of us, So I put it out there. And if I was to try and control hundreds of millions of people across the globe, I'd go crazy. So all I can do is throw it out there and let the work be done.
It's super motivational. So you have had remarkable experiences. You have had remarkable experiences on shows like Naked and Afraid. So what lessons have you learned from those extreme challenges, and how have they shaped your mindset and approach to life?
Yeah. The first thing is through great suffering. In some ways, is not bad. It's good. God doesn't put us in stormy waters because He doesn't love us. He knows we can swim, and our enemies can't swim. So we come out the other side. When you throw yourselves into tough situations and challenges and storms, there'll be lessons. When it's
Mm.
quiet at night and you're sitting around the fire, you sit with yourself, lessons through life, and you make assessments. How do I have to do a course change in my life? And you just through that process you become, I think, stronger. And for me, I became a better man, a better survivalist. I appreciated the things in my life that I was taking for granted, because you have time to reflect and say, oh, I need to do better in this, or do a little bit better here. And we're all not perfect, but we are perfectly imperfect. And so that's what I get out of it. I love going out because I know after 21 or 40 or 60 days, when I come out that other side, I'm going to be put through the fire, tested. I'll be a better, not but for all around me.
Fabulous. And every word is a pearl of wisdom in itself. And we have had an amazing conversation so far. And now it's time to add some more excitement. So let's add some spice to the episode. I'm going to kick off a quick second rapid fire round with a set of intriguing questions just to spice up the
Okay,
episode further.
I'm ready.
Perfect. So here comes my first bullet. If you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
One big billboard. And that would be on this billboard, or just would say anything? Is it my pictures on there, or?
It could be anything. Like it could say something, your quote or whatever you firmly believe, what your message,
All right.
could be anything.
Okay. I would probably say in Latin, tua sponte superstes, which means survive by your own will. We're put
Wow.
on this earth to learn an experience, to learn lessons, to live life. And through that, it's on us.
Hmm.
So we do it on our own will. We count on ourselves to do it. If others can come and help us, that's great. But we are responsible for our own inner happiness and our own journey. Nobody can make us happy. We are responsible for that ourselves. And nobody can come along on our journey. They can walk alongside of us in their own journey, but those are individual life experiences, and you have to do it on your own, and you have to survive by your own will.
Wow, such a powerful message. And let me fire the second one. What is the best gift that you have given to someone?
I would say the best gift I have ever given to someone was unconditional love, no
Hmm.
matter who they are, whether it was a friend, family member, or an enemy. To feel that person from their point of view, to understand them in a way that no matter what harm came to me or what went on, that I would be able to love them fully
Hmm.
and unconditionally, even if they weren't very kind to me.
Yeah.
And
I somehow get a lot of positive vibes ever since I started talking to you over LinkedIn and also this conversation as well. So I never doubt about it. And with that, let me move to the next question. Can you describe yourself
okay,
in just one word?
just one word. Wow, charismatic.
Charismatic, yeah. And two truths and one lie about you.
Two truths and one lie about me.
Yeah.
Okay, loyal,
Mm-hmm.
dependable,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a really bad dancer.
Same with me. Okay. And here comes the next
That was
one.
the lie.
Yeah. That's the lie.
Yeah.
So, with whom you like to collab or work with if you ever get a chance?
um, I would have to say Sanguru, because
Mm-hmm.
I've been following him for a little while. I started putting yoga in my life recently over the last few years, and doing the meditations a lot more like dedicated than I used to do in life. And I I just think that if I could be in his presence and work with him and just hang with him for a day, I think it would be so enlightening, so powerful, and it's it would be something pretty special, I think. So I send my hat off to Sanguru.
Yeah, I'm sure it is going to happen very soon. And EJ, here comes the last bullet out of rapid fire. So, what is one electronic gadget that you'd like to see or invent yourself?
Some kind of a gadget?
Yeah.
Well, being a man that lives by just primitive means at times, I find gadgets are helpful and they make life better. If I had to, okay, I got one. For me, it would be to actually get my hands on Tesla coil. Now, the
Uh,
Tesla coil is supposed to run and be able to power things, even whole cities, without very much use of energy or cost. I think if I could get that one item, that it would help the entire world. And I do believe it's out there. I think the governments are hiding it. But if I could have the Tesla coil, that would be the one gadget I would love to have a hold of and implement.
quite interesting, and that was a fascinating rapid fire round. Let's flip back to the mainstream. And given your journey, experiences, and the impact you have had on millions of people across the globe, what message or advice would you like to leave our audience with as they navigate their own paths in life, especially in terms of mindset, resilience, and leadership?
Yeah. I would say be into yourself. When you sit with yourself, give yourself a break. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're trying to do your best at all things you're doing in life. We don't always get it right, whether we're a leader or a follower, a mom or a dad, a brother or a sister, or a friend. But just go easy on yourself. Love yourself unconditionally. Be kind to yourself and be good to yourself every day. And just, you know, just remember that you're on this earth for only a time, so you'll make your impact. But don't get so wrapped around the busy to
Yeah.
not take time to smell the roses. And I have to tell myself this all the time because my life is very busy. I'm always trying to find that next thing. I'm working business. I have a bunch of business projects and charity projects I'm working. And it's, well, you know what? If you don't take time for yourself and you don't pause, you will forget about yourself. And then your machine will break down through health, your physicality, like your fitness will go down. And if you're not healthy and you're sick and not taking care of yourself, how are you going to help others? So
Yeah.
take care of yourself, be kind to yourself.
And I take that message personally to me as well, because I've also been passionately doing a lot of stuff. I keep myself busy all the time, but this is a great message. And definitely, I'm going to take a break. Thank you. Thank you for the advice. And EJ, so tell me honestly, how was your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice platform? I think this is your first ever presence on Indian platform.
Absolutely amazing. I've always had a fond admiration for the Indian people and how they go through life and their philosophies. And was in the Army. I was very blessed to be able to train with the Indian Army and the Gurkhas. And I remember those times very fondly. I've had, growing up in New Jersey, many Indian friends, and I'm very fascinated by many cultures. So for me to get experience and have some time with other cultures, it just makes the world a better place. We're just one big tribe, and we need to learn how to do this and live together in harmony, or the world can be very sick. And but being on this one, it was not like other podcasts I've been doing, so I found it very invigorating, very had to be on my toes, and I really enjoyed it, especially the rapid fires. That kind of stuff, it really gets my brain really moving. So thank you for having me. I would love to come back again someday down the road, and I wish you the best with this podcast. And everybody out there, just go to ejsnyder.com and follow me there, subscribe. There you can link up with all of my social medias. But if you don't do websites and you just do social media, at EJ Snyder 333 at Instagram, Twitter, what is now X, TikTok, and Clapper, as well as on YouTube and Facebook. It's just EJ Snyder. And come find me there. I'm king of the 1-minute survival tips, hacks, and tricks, but I'm so much more than just a survivalist, as you have maybe come to see today.
Superb. And now I'm absolutely thrilled to have you. And it is one of the most memorable episodes that I'm going to cherish for a long time. And I would definitely want you to come back and share your wisdom again and again with our audience. So thank you so much for being part of my show, EJ. I really appreciate you spending time and sharing your amazing insights. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate you so much from my heart. Peace to you and blessings. And to all of India, stay above and be kind to each other. Namaste.
Namaste.
And I love you all and appreciate all of you, the fans, all the Naked Afraid tribe that I have with me from Discovery. We love India. It's just, they're the best fans. And so if somebody's out there and they say, oh, let's bring EJ Snyder over to India. I've been trying to get over there.
Yeah.
And I would be happy to come there, do a motivational speech, to meet and greet with fans, to take pictures and all that. And my fees are very reasonable. If somebody would like a promoter out there that might see this, if you wish to bring EJ Snyder over to India and we do some of these things, I've got several books coming out next year. I would be happy to connect and get over there. It's just we have to make that worthwhile for everybody. And I can't, as low as I'm good looking, I cannot just fly on my good looks. They just don't allow it. So.
Good one. So for those of you who are watching this episode or listening to the episode, you'll find all the coordinates of EJ in the show notes or the episode description. And for those of you who are into PR, please approach EJ and bring him to India. I would also like to meet him in person. That is one of my selfish reasons.
Yes, it would be great to give you a hug.
All right. So, friends, that was our episode with EJ Snyder. Yes, you heard it right. EJ Snyder. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request. If you haven't already, request you to subscribe to our podcast from wherever you have tuned in from, because subscribing keeps you updated on new episodes. Also, if you have loved this episode or found the conversation useful, request you to share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues who would also like the guiding voice. Please spread the knowledge and also help others grow just like you. Now let's cruise into the trivia segment. So for those of you who are not aware of Naked and Afraid, this trivia is for you. Naked and Afraid is a popular survival reality television series that has captivated audiences with its unique concept and intense challenges. And here are the 3 interesting facts about the show. The first one is Raw Survival Challenge. Naked and Afraid challenges participants to survive in extreme and remote locations without any clothing, food, or tools. And the participants are tasked with finding water, food, and shelter while enduring harsh conditions and wildlife encounters. Scary, isn't it? And next one is Pairing of Strangers. One of the distinctive aspects of the show is that participants often referred to as naked and afraid survivalists are paired with a complete stranger of the opposite sex. These pairs must work together to endure the challenges of the wilderness and complete the 21-day survival challenge. And third one is about the global locations and environmental diversity. The show is also known for its diverse locations ranging from jungles and deserts to mountains and islands, showcasing the vast array of climates and environments around the world. And each location presents unique survival challenges, adding to the excitement and unpredictability of the series. So Naked and Afraid continues to intrigue viewers with its survivalist theme and the ultimate test of human endurance and resourcefulness in some of the harshest conditions of the earth. So do let me know what you like most about this show. If you are watching it on YouTube, you can comment there, or if you have found this episode on social media, you can comment there. I'm going to review them for sure. And that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of awesome community. We would love to hear from you. So folks, do not hesitate to share your ideas and also feedback either through social media or email. Our email address is theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com, and let's create content that resonates with you. I'm your host Naveen Samala, a lifelong learner, and my goal is to have impactful conversations that improve not only your life and also your career, that makes this place a better place to live. And until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember, the future holds great things because the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with another amazing guest. Take care.